Welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at this Land Rover. It's a Range Rover Evoque, and it was sent to me from another shop where they had done a bunch of work to it, and they want me to look at it and see if I can figure out why it's running the way it's doing. They particularly are concerned with the way, what they think is that the transmission is acting. Now, as far as a lot of work done to this, they have done a lot of work to it. I'm being just transparent, as the guy had no shame as to telling me what was done to this and why we are here today. So it turns out they hired a guy that said he can do anything and everything. They asked him if he can do timing on one of these. He said yes. And so they had him do it, and the shop owner told me after he did that, he left something in the engine somewhere that wasn't good and basically blew up the engine. They got a replacement engine, installed it, got it running, and then it wasn't shifting right or transmission was acting up, so they went ahead and ordered a replacement transmission, and this is where it's at because they say it's still kind of not feeling right. They asked me if I could do programming or whatever with transmission, which most of us should know by now. That's always kind of an scapegoat type of thing that people think it's a magic, fix for whenever something's just not acting right. The problem is you have to try to figure out what is the issue by knowing the system, knowing the service information, how it's supposed to work, operate, what's needed, what's wrong, start testing, look at those things, why the codes come up, if there's codes, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, now I have driven it, and right off the bat, I noticed something that was going on that could cause it to look like transmission's acting funny. But before going out and showing you that, I am going to perform kind of like a relearn for the transmission, because naturally, yes, a separate one was installed, so we need to get that kind of, let's call it reset, to start learning that it's in a different vehicle, so on and so forth. So we're going to do that, and then I'll take it for a test drive and show you what's going on. Alright, so we're going to key it up, and so I am in special function. I've identified the vehicle already, and we are going to go into transmission calibration, and we're going to want to pick this guy here. Alright, switch position 2, which we are. Okay, so we'll go ahead, and so that was performed. Let's see.
Okay.
Alright, so now I have noticed that with this tool, with a separate reset deal that I was doing, I might have a video on that, but it doesn't always tell you what it's doing, but it'll prompt what seems to be the same thing again, but it's probably different portions that it's just not describing that it's resetting when you might think you're resetting the same thing. So just go through the prompts, and then it'll get you to an end point. So since it's asking us different things, we know that it's gone through the procedure, and we'll keep following the prompts. Okay. And there were some trouble codes I wanted to show you guys, but this can be a good starting point. So we'll know that we're going to be starting with no codes as far as engine computer. As far as transmission computer, there are no codes present. I did sort of feel some, let's call it, oddball-ish shifting. Nothing that really was stand-out-ish that could justify a transmission type of issue. Just kind of those sort of a little bit harder than likable shifts at some points. Not all the time either. So that's why I chose to do the relearn. Okay, so we'll turn off. But I'm describing all that to tell you that there are no transmission codes, or I don't believe there's a transmission issue other than possibly relearning. Okay, so we are still trying to complete that along with deleting codes. Procedure complete successful. All right. Switch to 0. All right. So I'm assuming we are good to key on, and let me cycle. And then all right, so we'll back out of this. We'll get out of special function, and we'll do a complete health report, which scans all modules and lets us know if some have trouble codes in them. All right, so it's scanned all the modules. Any that have trouble codes will pop up here on the top first, and then all the ones without it will follow them. So only the cluster has a code for high-speed CAN. Okay, nothing too crazy. Listed as intermittent, so not even here for anything related to that. And obviously, engine control unit, no codes. So we will, actually I'll start it now. I won't even cycle key. And I will take for a test drive, see how the shifting feels, and then hopefully it'll do, which I'm pretty sure it will, when I'm describing, and I'll get it on camera. Alright guys, we will go out for a test drive. I'm going to be easy on the throttle. Again, first and foremost, trying to see about transmission, shifting, light load, which it was more of in the, like from park to drive, was more prominent. So there's a quick shift. Another one. Another one. Alright. Shifting seems alright. There's some downshifts, turning around. We'll accelerate again. Go through the gears in light load. So one of the things again was to show you the capabilities of that new launch tool I've been messing with. We are doing a Range Rover, Land Rover, whatever you want to call it, and doing having abilities to do special functions like resetting a transmission. control unit. Again, just impressed based off of its capabilities, based off price. And so far seems okay, but I've been light footing it. I think here after this stop sign, I'll show you. I'm gonna get into it a little bit deeper now. I'm already feeling it. There you go. Flashing yellow check engine light. So that's how this was given to me. And then we are studying right now. And then if you see that, restricted performance, so on and so forth. I don't know exactly what's going on over there or what the deal is. Maybe there's some miscommunication. But I believe I'm not going to be chasing a transmission problem, since obviously Misfire will give you hesitation, jerking, bucking, all of that type of feeling and symptoms. So I think we are going to have to do some more digging, but I will get with the owner, but I'm sure he will give me free rein, as he usually does, especially with how much they have put in it and done with it and the situation they've gotten themselves into. So for now I might have to just stop there, and we'll probably have to continue at a different time. But let's, obviously I'm still in the same screen that we were in before. Let's just enter here. And oh yeah, that one also keeps coming back. So all of these are ones that always come back. That's obviously not a good one. The one that we, I think, feel, or obviously we are seeing this, and it always come back as cylinder 4, and that always comes back after driving. So not necessarily after it keys on, but so yeah, this is what we are dealt with, and I'm gonna have to chase, I'm assuming, just out of curiosity to show a little bit more. So if we highlight one of these and you click help info, you can get some information about possible causes and just some sort of assistance. And you can do it for all trouble codes on these. Most of them do have info, so I found that to be useful. Or so yeah, it's helpful at times to be able to gain some extra info. So let's go back, and that's pretty much it for now. Again, like I said, we're gonna have to see what they want to do, and then you can see now how the ECM has jumped up, and it's listed up here in the top as all the faulted ones come first. So alright, pulled it in the shop, haven't turned it off, but kind of doing some visuals. I was testing something earlier, that's why that's here. Maybe I'll get to a shot of that, but I'm going to quickly unplug, do like a cylinder drop with coil number 4, and I will go ahead and unplug that now. Hopefully audibly we'll be able to tell whether there is a change or not in the way the engine's running. It currently is misfiring, so I'll unplug now. Not really a change. That's number 4. Let's plug back in. No change. So let's I'm gonna go with number 2. So there we go now. Alright, that got worse. Alright, cylinder 2 made a difference. And you know, I'm going for number 1. I've mentioned before, you don't always have to, you know, go crazy with a scope. This is still just as, you know, a good effective way of trying to find or verify the cylinder. So I'll pull number 1 now. Okay, that's made a difference. Okay, we're back up, RPM. So 1, 2 made a difference, 4 has not. Let's go for number 3. And now. Yeah, big difference. So we are dealing with single cylinder misfire, and it is confirmed with cylinder 4. Okay, so we've swapped coils 1 and 4. We will, I don't know if it'll misfire here idle, because you kind of, after I think you cycle the key, kind of have to drive it again under a little bit of a load for it to come back. So with that, let's go ahead and clear all those codes, and I'll show you how all of those do come back. So we set those, but let's clear. Okay, so that was pretty quick. Let's reread. No codes. So I'll cycle the key, and then we'll go for a test drive. Alright, and I don't foresee this taking too long. At least for us to duplicating it. So we're just going simple right now before we get too deep. I'll try here in the parking lot. Yep. So just heavy acceleration in the parking lot was good enough. Let's cylinder 4, so it's not a coil. All right. Alright guys, so this is the one from cylinder 4, and I'm just looking if I see anything weird, which I can tell that they definitely been chasing a misfire, because if you look at the plug from number 1 to NGK, and then this one's a Ford spark plug. So, sure, swapping's gonna do nothing, but I don't know. Maybe if they crack this or something, we'll be able to find out. But again, quick, kind of crude, before getting too crazy by breaking out the scope. All right, plugs are switched. Same thing. I won't even erase that. Let's just go for it, since it's that easy to duplicate here in the parking lot. I can already feel a little bit of a fish bite as I'm backing up. Alright. So there we are. Let's go back in. There we go. Low tech, Swaptronics, Diagnostics. All that was a spark plug. Alright guys, there you go. Looks like for now we were able to address kind of two issues. One was resetting, readapting, relearning, whatever you want to call it, the transmission, to get that to, be happy and normal, or start relearning itself in a different car. Second, as you could tell or see, I've addressed what was heavily felt as looks like a main symptom, which was the misfire. Low tech, again, just swapping things around. Nothing wrong with that. Gets me an answer without breaking out all the equipment late at night, and I will get at least for sure one new spark plug, and I'm starting with that because if you remember, we saw a bunch of other codes, including a major one, a timing one. So for now, let me get it running good without any misfires and see how that does. So for now on this one, thank you for sticking around. Hope you learned something with these. They're not too difficult to work on. Just got to know what you're looking at and doing. So thank you for watching, and that's all on this one.